Do you feel your life is defined by people around you, things that happen to you, events that you go through, and you live most of your life reacting to things, people, events, rather than what you originally planned? And if you feel that these people, events, and things, circumstances are defining who you are becoming, then stay tuned because we're going to discuss just that. But before that, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. So, just a little disclaimer, and I'm going to read from the screen because it is a long disclaimer. The content of this broadcast is neither sponsored nor endorsed, administered, or associated with any social media channel, be it Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, and anything else. And neither of these social media channels or their subsidiaries are responsible for the content of this broadcast. Now, before I begin, let me also just say I'm not a doctor, psychiatrist, or a lawyer, and you should refer to a certified professional for making decisions about your life that may impact your well-being in any sense, way, or manner. All right. So now we can deny all we want, but the fact is, most of us are brain trained by the society to define our lives according to what happens to us. We are trained to feel a certain way. We are trained to react a certain way. We're trained to manage events of our lives, our relationships, our dreams, our ambitions, our challenges in a certain way. There are boxes defined under which we have to operate. Well, usually that is the case. We can deny that that's not true, that's not how I live, but that's exactly what we do. And those who challenge the norm, those who go beyond the boxes and do something different, are often persecuted or worshipped. Isn't that irony? Either there is an entire, there is no balance. It's either extreme persecution, rejection, outcasting, or people worship you. They praise you like anything. They follow you blindly. And not that you become a cult, but you just follow everything they say or want to follow, even if you don't really agree to it. Right? At least in my experience, I see a lot of people doing that constantly. And then constantly questioning, why is it not happening the way I want to? Why don't people understand me? Why are things difficult? Why am I going through this? Why is it so hard? So on and so forth. We have a lot of whys, but the question is, do we focus on, are we taking actions? Are we doing anything about it? Are we doing anything different to run our lives according to who we are, who we really are? Not who we are defined by the brain training that society gives us. So I faced a certain situation on November 3rd, Saturday. And as we are brain trained, I reacted a certain way. I handled things a certain way up to a point. And I usually don't like to make these broadcasts about me, but I think I want to share with my experience with my life, um, so that you can understand and you can, if you relate to it, maybe in some way it will help you. Maybe in some way it will empower you. Maybe in some way it will bring a clarity that you were lacking. And for me, as I often talk about CTCR, uh, clarity, truth, courage, resilience. Clarity is the most important thing for me. That's where everything begins. Once I'm clear what really is going on, what really am I feeling, what truly I want to happen, I usually find um, myself closer to my truth, and I find the courage, and I become more resilient and strong to face the challenges that are in my face. And hence, when last Saturday, December 3rd, something happened that I'm not happy about, I'm not at all happy about. Unhappy is not even the right word, and I don't want to go into that. I kind of stopped. I literally stopped. I kept posting on social media. I kept talking to people, but I stopped. Does that make sense? I was doing things that I'm supposed to do. I was actively engaging, but I stopped inside of me. I stopped as an individual. And while my autopilot was interacting with everybody, my brain, my inner voice, the person within me wasn't talking to anyone, was not engaged with anything. Everything was just frozen. Everything just ceased. And when I gave it a thought, I realized I was reacting to what happened, and I was letting what happened define who I become. I was letting that incident define what my next step will be, what my journey will be like. And that's when I asked, why do I have to react that way? Why do I have to handle life that way? Why do I have to move forward in that way? And that's when something that I got reminded of that I used to do quite a few years ago, and very religiously. And then I stopped doing it. As you get busy, as life happens, you forget a few things that really, really make your life successful, that make you happy, that make you confident and clear. And as I said, clarity is everything for me. So I stopped following a couple of things that have always helped me to stay connected to myself. And I call them IAMs, individual action moves. IAMs. I stopped taking individual action moves. Now, I'm not talking about individual as in singular, separate action moves. I'm talking about, as a human being, we're trained to be a social animal. We're trained to work in relation to the society, the community, the relationships we have, the engagements we have. We are so brain trained. I wouldn't say brainwashed, because I think it is just more of a structure that we grow up in, that we're brain trained to work in relation to somebody or something around us. And we tend to let ourselves, our individuality, our independent identity go. We let it go. We let it be forgotten to ourselves before anybody else. We claim to have our independent and individual personality. We claim to be unique individuals. We claim to have lives that are individual fingerprints, that everybody is different from everybody else and everybody is unique. But we don't really do that. We let our uniqueness go and we start defining and living our life according to the society, the relationship, the relevance to something, someone else, whether it's a group, whether it's an individual, we just stop being our individual selves. And in that relation, I say that I used to do something called individual action moves since I think the age of 18 and 36, up to 36. And those individual action moves, IAMs, really helped me stay connected to myself, be clear about what I want in life, where I want to be, whether I made mistakes, whether I committed blunders. I still always knew how to rise above all of that and be myself. And over the last few years, as things got busy, as I had lots going on, exciting things, confusing things, happy things, unhappy things, all that, I kind of let my individuality go, as we all do, because we become and we start living in relationship to others, to the society, to the people, to the other individuals, to the events and circumstances around you. We start reacting to what is happening to us. We start reacting to events that are taking place in our life. We start reacting to people that we care about or don't care about, people that we like or don't like, and we stop living as ourselves, as our individual selves. We stop focusing on who we are, what we want, what our inner voice says. And that's where individual action moves, or IAMs, really help me. I call them individual action moves because these individual action, these moves that I make for myself, for my life, with my clear goals, with my clarity, and with focus of self-care, self-love, self-respect, they truly define who I really am. And what I believe is, unless I am connected to myself, unless I truly am who I am, I cannot be of service, of value, of purpose to anybody else I'm trying to relate to anything I'm doing for anyone, even for myself. And that's where three things that help me, three individual action moves that help me be more powerful, be more connected, be more, as I talk about CTCR, clear, truth, clarity, truth, courage, and resilience. My individual action moves help me achieve CTCR. Yes, I'm a lot about self-created abbreviations, but I want to share those three short and quick individual action moves, IAMs, that really help me, and hopefully it might help somebody out there. So here they are. First of all, declutter your life. No, I really mean it. Declutter your life. Now you'll say, oh, I don't have clutter in my life. I have very clean room. I have very organized structure. I work in a very organized way. Yes, we all do that. Yes, we all have a routine. We all have a structure, but we are still cluttering our lives with friendships we don't really want, with things we don't really need, with things we never use, with objects we don't ever care for, with projects, with missions, with little battles that we are really not passionate about, but we just do them. We maintain those friendships. We keep hanging on to, holding on to those objects. We keep working on the projects. We keep trying to be something. We keep trying to hang on to something that we don't really need. And I believe decluttering your life of all these unwanted, unnecessary things, people, events, projects really, really helps you to be more clear about what you really need. Because when you don't have all the clutter, when you don't have all the mess around you, you can see clearly. You know what you need. You can focus on what you need. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you a real life example. You see the little shelves behind me. I had too many things on there. I wanted everything because I like this, because somebody gave it to me, because I had an emotional connection, because I thought, oh, I should keep this thing given by this person. I should also display this because this defines this. But I was constantly trying to gather everything and try to define myself according to the material possessions or things or events that genuinely did not mean much to me. Maybe beyond that particular moment. And yesterday, actually, I cleaned my shelves, and now I have things that I really relate to, things that I have some connection with, things that define me. And it may not mean much to anybody who is watching, but what is behind me right now, I'm connected to it. It has a meaning for me. And I am clear. I can clearly see what I want to see. I can clearly connect to what really has value in my life. Whether it's the little pots, I can't see direction, whether it's the little pots or the books or the magazines, anything and everything that you see behind me defines who I really am. And decluttering helps me stay focused on what I want to achieve, what I want to read, what I want to be reminded of. And that really helps. So declutter your life of people, things, projects, responsibilities that you really are not connected to, that you really don't have any interest in, that you really don't need to be a part of. Really, it does help. Then disconnect to reconnect. That's one thing I wasn't doing at all. I'm good at disconnecting to reconnect, but over the last few years, several times I did that and then I stopped doing it. Now, what do I mean when I say disconnect to reconnect? I mean, whether it's social media, whether it's friends, whether it's family, and I mean it, family, friends, colleagues. You don't have to be connected with everybody at every time, every day of your life. Sometimes you just have to disconnect the machines, the technology, the people, and reconnect with yourself. And what I find for myself is when I turn off my phone, I sleep better. When I close the unwanted tabs in my browser, I focus better, I achieve better, I do better, and I deliver better. because I'm more connected to myself. I'm more connected to what my goal is. I'm more connected to what I really want to achieve. And all the distraction, all the unnecessary is away, which brings to me my which brings me to my next individual action move, which is shut the noise, listen to the inner voice. Literally, just shut all the noise around you, people's opinion, people's reactions, things that are happening around you that you don't need to be part of, things that you do not need to participate in, things that you do not need to be defined by. Shut it all. Whether it's machine, whether it's people, whether it's circumstances, whether it's drama going on, whether it's anything that you do not need to be a part of, just shut it off. Just shut all the white noise and close your eyes. Remove everything and listen to not this, but this. Listen to your brain, listen to your heart, listen to your inner voice, and listen to what's coming in from inside of you. Listen to what's really happening within your heart. Do you feel uncomfortable about something? Listen to your heart. Stop doing it. Stop being part of it. Do you feel excited about something? Find out more, research more, get more involved. Do you feel scared about something? Try and find out, why are you scared? What is the reason? What is the aftermath, or what is the outcome you're worried about? Listen to your inner voice, listen to yourself, and allow yourself to let this voice be your true guide. I say this with due respect. You don't need a coach, a consultant, a mentor if you genuinely start listening to what is inside of you. Yes, coaches help. Yes, mentors help. Yes, society, community, friendships, spouses, lovers, relationships, children, they all help, because you're a human being. You're a social animal. You need all of them. You want all of them. But if you're not connected to yourself, if you're not listening to yourself, everything else you're doing, every other relationship that you have, has a larger degree of pretense, of obligation, of burden, rather than passion, rather than interest, rather than your own desire to be in it. And once you start connecting to yourself, you'll find you're doing things better. You'll find you're making better impressions. You'll find you have better relationships, business or personal. Even your, believe it or not, even your pets know when you're more connected to yourself. And I just want to very quickly acknowledge a couple of comments. Hi, Kathy. Kathy is my virtual mom from USA, I believe Texas. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I was talking about, Kathy. Rising above it all and being connected to myself is what helps me be here today and talk openly to myself, to others. So thank you. I thank you. Thank you very much for your support, your love, everything. And yes, Arizona. Sorry, from Arizona, not Texas. Hey, since we're talking about authenticity, we're talking about being connected and being honest, and clarity. Let the world know that we became mom and son just recently, and we've had a great relationship. And one of the reasons I am more connected is because something that connected us, I processed it within inside. Why is it really happening? Why are we reacting the way we are reacting? And I just knew I had to react differently. And I think we both have a similar reaction to how initially we dealt with it and then how we decided to move on to something better. And that's where I talk about disconnecting with the noise to reconnect with yourself and to listen to your own inner voice and then carry on. So yeah, and yes, I eliminate distractions, absolutely. So that's what I really wanted to share, that for me, these individual action moves really, really help me be more connected to myself, be more truthful to myself. And with my vision of CTCR, clarity, truth, courage, and resilience, I achieve CTCR by focusing on my individual action moves. Because when I'm taking these moves, these honest and sincere and connected moves that are coming from within me, I will start connecting to people and things that align with me. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody and I shared something very personal, uh, and they really, really helped me let go of something that was making me really angry. And it is just amazing. I saw their post for somebody else, sharing something entirely disconnected to me, no relation to me. And yet that post connected me to them because I was disconnected with the noise and I was connecting to what matters to me. And that post mattered to me. That post created a bond. And I was then able to share things with them that really, really helped me to be here today. Really. And Benir, that's you. So my friend Benir Peer, we really connected yesterday in a very unique way that helped me be here today and be I'm in a much better place than I was 9 or 10 days ago. I'm in a much better place than I was 48 hours ago. You know, so it really, exactly, Kathy. Absolutely, it has been awesome, and it really helped me take this individual action move to broadcast this, to share this without a script, without a preparation, without a gimmick or a promotion. I just knew I needed to share because there's somebody out there who might need this, who might be feeling like me, who might need the same clarity that I have right now. And that's what individual action moves are about. And once you start making these moves for yourself, you start actually relating to and connecting to people, things, projects better because now you're really being honest to yourself and you're not pretending and you're not doing it and you're not being defined by something, someone else. You're being defined by you, your inner voice. And I call it the science of balance. The science of balance that helps you to get connected to people and things that really truly allow you to be yourself, not how society wants it now, not how a certain incident or event expects you to be, not a certain team, not a certain group. You just become the real yourself by this science of balance that is connecting totally disconnected or unconnected people and bringing them together with a purpose. Now, I'm not religious, not spiritual, so I don't understand all that. I am all about science, and I think the science of balance, the universe has a way of balancing things, bringing things together at the right time with a right purpose and right goal and right vision. That is still beyond my understanding, and I'm always curious and I'm always learning. But I think that's what the science of balance is, what connects people and things to their real purpose. And I hope this conversation gave you something to think about, or a monologue. It gave you something to think about, and it helps you in some way to be able to take your individual action moves to connect with yourself more, to be more authentic, and define your life by what is within you and not what's happening around you. So, thank you for watching. And until next, love, honor, and inspire yourself from within to dream big and make it happen and inspire influential with kindness. I'll see you next time.